Hi there. So, in part one of the data cleaning video, we discussed about binning, and let us move further now. So, the next part of the noisy data is clustering. So, what is clustering now? Let us understand that one. So, clustering is basically here we are utilizing it to detect the noise in the data. Okay, what is noise? Some errors. Okay, and like again some what part which we want to smooth out from the data set so that uniformity will be maintained in our data set. So what is clustering, that we have to understand first. So clustering is basically the group of similar things, you can say, okay, which are having some similar attributes with each other. So here you can see one diagram. Here one diagram is shown to you. What it is showing to us, let us understand this one. uh, there are three clusters, like these are shown. This is the first, which is some of the values are going there, that means this one can be the part of this one also. And the second cluster, this is C2, and this is, I will write C1, and this is C3. How these clusters are made, let us understand it with one example. And there is one more thing, plus sign is shown here with the clusters. So what are they? Let us consider one example with this one. Suppose there is one class, and in that class students are sitting, and obviously everyone will be wearing different colors, and I want to cluster them up in three colors. Okay, and those three colors I'm choosing as red, green and blue. Okay, so what I will do, I will make three centers. One student who is wearing red, that is this one, cluster 2. The one student who is wearing blue, that is this one, red, blue, and green, you would say third cluster is green. Okay, so it is like your red, it is like your blue color, and it is like your, this one is green color. So what I will do, I will ask other students, they became my center. I will ask the other remaining students to come one by one and to match up their wearing color with the centers. So if one student is coming, he or she is wearing red color, so that student is matching up with cluster 2, so they will become part of cluster 2, like this one. Another student came who is wearing blue color, they became part of this one. Another student came again wearing red color, so became part of this one. So in this way all the students will be segregated into these three groups as red color, blue color and green color. So that will give me as my cluster. So that is called as your simple clustering example that you got. In the same way we do. Okay, and utilizing this technique of clustering, we can perform different analysis and very interesting ones. Okay, now let us talk about these ones which are not a part of any of the clusters. Okay, they are called as outliers. Okay, the term must be written over here. Yes, this one, outliers. So what are these outliers now? Outliers are those points, data points, which does not comply with the general behavior of the data. What is the meaning of it? That means this particular student is not matching up, is not wearing neither red nor blue and nor green. That's why it became my outlier in my data set. Okay, that analysis that I want to perform. That's why all these ones became my outlier. So outlier 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now here, what is the use of these outliers and this clustering in noise? So while detecting these outliers, the meaning of it, they are not matching up with the general behavior of the data. That means if I will detect all the outliers present in my data set, that means I can work on removing them from my data so that there will be less noise in my data set, less errors in my data set. The data which I need for my pre-processing will come out clean without outliers. I hope you got my point. Okay, that is where we can utilize clustering for data cleaning. So that was a point that you have to remember. Next one is last portion that you have to remember for data cleaning is inconsistent data. So that is completely theoretical point of view that you have to remember. So what happens in certain data sets, what happens in record in some for some transactions, there can be some inconsistencies. Like if there are two files stored, but both files are having similar data, but they are stored with different names. Okay, so that can create some inconsistencies in data. If that kind of data set is given to the model, it can give us some inaccurate results. Okay, there can be duplicacies in data, so that also we have to find out. So these inconsistencies can be created due to data integration also. Data integration means we want to combine some data, but their environment is not matching up, the attributes are not similar. Okay, so how we can do that? So these kind of problems can create inconsistencies in data for which we have to work on. And these kind of stuff, like tackling data integration, how to perform those things, that we have already discussed also, how to perform data integration. So you can see that video again if you have any doubts about data integration. Okay, but redundancies can be the result of these inconsistencies, and that should not be there because they can lead us towards some inaccurate results. Okay, so that is about our data cleaning. First, we discussed about our missing values, how to tackle missing values, then how to tackle noise by utilizing binning method and by utilizing our clustering method, and then what is inconsistent data, how we can tackle that one. So that is our data cleaning part completed over here. Thank you so much. I will see you in our next video. Don't forget to subscribe the channel. Thank you so much.